Hello, you filthy animals. I'm back again. 2 videos in 2 days. Yes, I am spoiling you. So today's supposed to be my day off. Everybody needs one. And with the website and the record label, even though I only got launched last Friday, and the fact I'm trying to organise an underground festival that's going to cost a lot of fucking money, but it's going to be huge if it happens. I just need a break. Now, while I was taking my break today and working, because I can't help myself, it dawned on me that maybe I should do a sort of introduction to who the fuck I am and how I find myself in this situation. This may require some storytelling on my behalf, which will either be incredibly entertaining or fucking boring as hell. I've not decided which yet. But the fact is, I've always wanted to be a writer. That was my number one goal. When I was 12 or 13, I started writing. And so I've been doing this for like 40 odd years. And it was around that time I met two guys. We'll call the first one S, we'll call the second one P. They were my age, we were at school together, and we became firm friends because we listened to alternative music. Metal. Back when metal was metal. Back when listening to that sort of music made you an outcast. Not like now where everybody listens to alternative work, different genres, and we're one big fucking happy family. Back then, if you were a metalhead, you were looked at differently. And it meant something. Kind of wore it like a badge of honour. I know it's stupid, but you know, we were kids, what the fuck. As the years went on, me and S stayed pretty close. I still consider him my oldest friend. He is my oldest friend. And I still consider him my brother. But me and P, we eventually drifted apart. Mainly because his life ended up in a complete fucking state with drugs. I mean, I'm no saint, and I've been down that path, but this motherfucker was on a path he was never going to get off of. And so it turned out to be the case. About 7 or so years ago, 6 or so years ago, my youngest wasn't even a year old. And I was working a shitty ass job in the Dragon Inn. I was working as a backline chef, which basically meant I microwaved shit. Because that's how they cook things in there. Don't let them tell you fucking otherwise. That's how most of it is cooked, in microwaves. And it looks lovely on your plate, but it's not. It's shit. And I was microwaving some gravy, and the thing went ping, and I pulled the gravy out, and I went to open it, and it spilled all over my left hand, and it fucked my left hand up quite badly at the time. Blistered. Fucking horrible. And while I was running my left hand under cold water, because that's always a very sensible thing to do, I got a message from my then partner telling me that P had died of a drug overdose. So I went home and got fucking hammered. After I'd thrown the microwave across the kitchen and told my boss to go fuck himself. And it was at that point I decided this was what I was going to do. I was going to go for it. I was just going to fucking all in. Death or glory. So I started applying to websites and I became a freelance writer. And let me tell you, that is not a path I would recommend for everyone, because for anyone, because it's a fucking Shark Tank. Kiss ass or don't get paid. Be willing to be at the beck and call like a fucking lapdog or don't get paid. And this went on for a few years. And I was burnt out on that. And I just, fuck it. I'll go back to cleaning. I'll go back to sticking my hands down toilets and fucking polishing sinks every day if I fucking have to. When I met Andrew Grievous, the author of the fantastic horror and Haddonfield book based on the Halloween movies, and owner of 25 Years Later, and genuine all-round fucking dude. And on the off chance, I just applied to him and said, look, I need somewhere to fucking write. And he got back to me and said, well, I don't pay, but come along and we'll see what we can do. And he doesn't pay, he's a cheap bastard, but I went there and I have quit that motherfucking site and that motherfucker on more than one occasion. Mainly because I have a short fuse and I don't take kindly to assholes. Not that he is, he's a fucking fantastic guy, but some people piss me off. And no matter what I've done and no matter how much shit I've dropped him in, and trust me, there was a whole David Bowie incident that cost him a lot of money because of me, he's always taken me back. And I learned from him, a guy that's fucking God knows how many years younger than me, at least a decade and a half, that sometimes the best thing that you can do is just let it fucking run. Play the cards you're dealt. More doing that, I think the last time I quit was just before I started the Black Metal Archives. I decided that fuck it, I need to go out on my own. I struck out on my own and got the Black Metal Archives up and running. And the response to that's been fucking amazing. I'm just over a year into it. Thank you, cat. Sorry, my cat likes to stretch and knock things over. Yeah, I'm just over a year into it. It was a year, November the 9th, I think. And I've stationed myself, or I've tried to station myself as the voice of the voiceless, the voice of the underground. I know it sounds really fucking pretentious, but there are a lot of sites out there that still to this day charge bands for promoting their work, and I hate that. I mean, this isn't the 1950s, man. Payola's dead. So I do it. People send me shit. I like it. You know, people, we used to call it cold calling, but now it's cold emailing, I suppose. People email me shit and say, can you check out my band? I'll go and check it out. If I don't like it, I won't write a review on it, because just because it doesn't pump my nards doesn't necessarily mean that the next person is going to like it. I have PR companies getting in contact with me. And the fact of the matter is, I don't make a fucking penny out of that. And £20 a month I make from Patreon, if I'm lucky. No, it's not even that. It's $20, which, with the conversion rate, it's about 12 quid. So whilst doing that, I decided that the best thing that I could do was attempt to start a music festival, which is where the Black Flame Festival comes in. The third thing I said at the beginning. I then applied for Art Council loans and all sorts of stuff, and I'm still waiting to hear on that. And the idea is to have a 3-day festival in Bristol, if at all possible, over the Halloween weekend of next year, featuring unsigned bands. You know, bands that wouldn't normally get onto a bill like that. Have them be a part of it, to start a community, to be, I don't want to say we're part again, we're going to have to, part of something that can become an annual thing. And then, whilst trying to do all this, same to you, Pussycat. And then whilst trying to do all this, I decided that a record label would be a good idea. So I went out and got funding for that. Now, whether a record label is a good idea or not remains to be seen. Remember, more like whether. Yeah, whether any of this is a good idea remains to be seen. But the fact is, I come from the worst possible background you can imagine. Broken home, alcoholic parents, alcohol and drug problems myself. About as reliable as a chocolate teapot, as they say. And yeah, I still just fucking did it. And the reason I fucking did it is because I've been lucky enough to know people that have inspired me. And because you have to fucking do it. You cannot sit around and wait. I, for fucking years, expected somebody to show up on my doorstep with a fucking contract for a book. Here's a book, contract. Go write me the great British fucking novel. And it never happened. And then I ended up doing shit like scrubbing toilets and fucking cleaning out meat factories And it went on and it went on and went on. And the worst thing is, it took the death of one of my friends, one of my closest friends, somebody I considered, who I thought would be there for all time, for me to get off my fucking ass at the age of 45 and do what I'm doing now. And maybe that's the crux of the matter. Don't wait. Fucking do it. What's the worst that can happen? You trip over, you fall on your fucking face. As I tell my girls, it's not about how you fall down, it's about how you pick yourself back up. Now, the website's ticking over nicely, the festival remains to be seen, and the record label could be the biggest catastrophe I've ever done. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to look myself in the fucking eye when I go and meet the great Lord Satan and say, at least I fucking tried.